Well, good Thursday morning to you. This is September the 8th, 2016. It is 8:17 a.m. This is Rusty 78609, and I'm on the highway headed north to Lampasas, Texas, on my way to East Texas. Why am I going to East Texas? I'm going to return Romeo, my pet, to the breeder. So I just thought I'd cut to the chase and get that out front. Now you're going to ask the question, I thought you loved the dog and all that stuff, and I do. I have never seen an animal so devoted to its owner as the pet I have, and I'm going to return to the breeder because we had that agreement. Why am I returning Romeo to the breeder? Well, after much thought, it occurred to me that even though I'm happy with the pet, it occurred to me that maybe Romeo may not be all that enthused about wanting to go out and play and me wanting to read a book. Or Romeo wanting to jump up and down and have fun, and me trying to take a nap. Or the other things that occur, and I worry. See, I don't know what you'd call it, but I really empathize with other people, and I have to be careful with that because I'll let my empathy take me over, and I'll give up things that I should have kept for myself. I'll give it to others. I've done it before. But what I saw happening, and having a pet is great. I have no problem with that. No issues with that whatsoever. For those of you that have pets, I congratulate you. You have done a wonderful thing for yourself and the animal. However, for me, after being single, living totally alone, for 30 years, okay? 30 years. You kind of get set in your ways. And is a pet a disruption? Not as bad as I thought it was gonna be, no. But what happens to me, and it may not happen to other people, but again, I'm just telling you this from me, okay? This is not a generalization. This is specifically from one individual, me. So whenever you leave your comments, don't leave me general comments. Refer to me, okay? But the reason I'm returning the dog is I just feel like the dog would be better off with a family of possibly younger people, maybe with children. Maybe not, doesn't matter. Do I think older people can care for pets? Well, yes, I do. If they've had pets in the past and they're good with pets, sure. And I think pets are a great thing for elderly people. I thought it would be for me. And for a few days, it appeared that the path was good. And nothing has happened to really change that other than I thought it through a little farther than just the first 7 days, and I could see that the adjustments that I was going to need to make were not adjustments that I wanted to make. Okay, now there's a big difference there, wants and needs. And could I adjust my wants and needs to suit having a pet? The answer, yes, I could. Why don't you? Because I'm just not willing to, folks. I'm just not willing to do it. I don't know why, but it's just in me. And that's just the way it is. So I'm on the highway right now with a 3-week or 3-month-old dachshund or miniature poodle, depending whichever one you want to pick. And anyway, I talked to the breeder. Of course, we had an agreement because I was afraid that this may not work out, so I kind of hedged my bets. And I agreed to buy the animal based on the fact that anytime within 30 days I could return the dog for a full refund. And I've got, I could have waited another week or another 2 or whatever, but I decided to face the issue. There's 2 words that you need to learn to live with, and sometimes they're really difficult, particularly in situations like this. The 2 words are very simple. Face it. Face it. Don't beat around the bush. Don't hem and haw. Don't do this and don't do that. Make the goddamn decision and move forward. Okay, I have made the decision to return the dog, and I will move forward with my life. I may take up flying an airplane. I don't know. Whatever I want to do. I don't have that many years left on this planet, and I plan to enjoy them as best I can. And I wish Romeo the best. He's been a great entertainment for the past 7 days. I love the dog. I really do. It's a good dog. I mean, every time I look at him now, I just almost get tears in my eyes. But for me, it ain't working. I mean, I'm not sleeping well at night, even though he's just right. He's just a presence right there. But I'm aware of that presence. I'm aware of it. And for me, it keeps me awake. I don't sleep well because I'm thinking, well, maybe he needs to go outside, or maybe he needs to do this, or maybe that. And so, for the past 7 days, I haven't rested all that well. And I don't want this to become a health issue for me or for the dog either. Because see what happens, and it happens in relationships with human beings too, is something disrupts the harmony, and all of a sudden, the picking starts. You start picking at one another. And our little things begin to irritate you way out of proportion of what the event was, and I could see that that could possibly happen with my relationship with Romeo, because as I become, less rested, I guess I'll become a little irritable, and then I'm probably going to take it out on the dog. I don't know, but anyway, based on what I thought about it. About me, just me, not generalizations. I still think it's a great idea for people to have pets, because I can see my son's got 2 dogs. He's had them for years. Those dogs are like children. And they obey him. They watch every move he makes. They are perfectly well groomed. I mean, they are just the healthiest animals you've ever seen. And I kind of had that vision in my mind of getting a pet and doing something similar. But I left out a few places, a few things that didn't apply to my son. Number one, I've lived alone almost as long as he's alive, okay? And you get set in your ways, man. I mean, particularly me. I mean, I enjoy, reading a book uninterrupted. I enjoy taking a nap if I choose to. I enjoy getting in the car and going to the grocery store if I need to. And unfortunately, with Romeo, he gets a little car sick. Admittedly, he may have grown out of it. I don't know. Talked to the vet about it. He said, some dogs don't ever grow out of it. And so, that's a pretty, even though it's nothing that I probably couldn't adapt to, I don't choose to adapt. That's me. I guess I'm a selfish prick. And I'm sure I'll get some comments related to being a selfish prick. In fact, I may end up being the only subscriber to my channel. I'm kidding you. Oh, but anyway, I thought I could have made a million reasons up. I could have come up with a lot of good stories. I could have done a lot of things. I could have made up all kind of shit. And made the videos go on and on and on and on about this big fat lie, and I chose not to. The truth in the videos that I did about Romeo were the fact that having a pet is a great experience. They are devoted to the master without conscience and ask nothing in return. That is a bona fide fact. But for me, it did not work. I called the breeder this morning, told her I would be in her area by noon. It's about 250 miles. And I will be, and I'll return the dog, come back home, and crawl back in my hole again. Not really. I lived a good life before I had the pet, and I'll live a good life again. I'll come up with something. I mean, I'm pretty good at picking myself back up and getting back in the race. And this I don't consider being knocked down or defeated or given up or anything like that. It's just a fact that I tried this project. I had to find out if it would work for me, and it didn't. And now I know that. I'll turn the page and close that chapter, and we'll go on to the next one. What will it be? I don't know yet. But I can assure you, I'll come up with something. And yeah, I thought about going Prius camping because I don't do that often, but every now and then I do. It'd be impossible to take a dog. In fact, some national parks you can't even have a pet. And some places don't. If you have a pet, you got to have them on the leash all the time. And so, that becomes a little bit of an issue. But be that as it may, I wanted to cut to the chase, get this video posted, let y'all beat me up with comments if you choose to, which is fine with me. I can take the abuse, and if I end up with 5 subscribers, that's just my family. Well, that's it. But for those of you that hang on for the rest of the ride, you never know what I'm liable to come up with. I'm open to suggestions. I mean, I thought about birds and fish and, other types of pets, but no, I've learned my lesson now. Once I got my hand spanked, that's enough of that shit. If you stick your hand in the fire, it burns. You don't stick it back in there again. But anyway, having said all that, I'm on Highway 281 North, headed to Lampasas. I go by Fort Hood in Killeen, Texas. Fort Hood is the largest military base in the United States of America. That is a fact. It covers thousands upon thousands of acres. And I think I've said this before, but when I was inspecting gas pipelines in and around Waco, Texas, I stayed in an RV park on the west side of Waco, and sometimes at night you could hear the bombs exploding on Fort Hood because they've got artillery there, and they've also got armor or tanks. And baby, whenever it shakes your bed 55 miles away, you got to know what it did to the person or the target that it hit. Anyway, so you guys enjoy your day. I'm enjoying mine. It's not a bad day, actually. It's just another day. Another day to face life and make the best out of it you possibly can. And that's what I do. At least I try. Face it. Thumbs up, folks. Adios, amigos. Carpe diem. Bye-bye.